Hi guys, welcome to Vajza Gra. We're
Welcome.
so happy to finally be sitting down and filming and recording. This has been on the works for quite a while, so we're excited to finally share with you guys what we've been working on and what we want this podcast to be. So, welcome to episode 1. We're going to use this episode to kind of introduce ourselves, tell you a little bit about the logistics and what this podcast is going to be all about. So, we hope you enjoy and we hope you stick around to listen to the rest of the episodes as we delve into everything we have to talk about.
It's perfect. Well, for those of you who don't know, Vajza Gra stands for, or translates to Girls and Women in Albanian. We do have a YouTube video up for every podcast episode that will include Albanian subtitles in it. So there's no kind of like language barrier, and you can share with anyone, your nonna, your baba, anyone who would wanna watch it. So let's just get right into it. Dajana, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
For everyone that doesn't know me, my name is Dajana. I was born and raised in Albania until I was around 11 years old. And then, as every single Albanian family, my mom's dream was always to come to the United States so she could give us a better life, better education, and everything to my sister and I. We lived in Michigan. We stayed with one of our family members for a little bit until we got adjusted and everything. And then we moved on our own. I went to high school and college in Michigan at the University of Michigan, where I studied business and communications. And then just recently, about 6 months ago, I moved to New York, where I'm working in finance and technology. The farther we get into these episodes, the more you guys will be able to learn a little more about our stories, what got us to do this, and everything else like that. But why don't you share a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go into how we got together and how we started this and what the whole point of starting this is.
All right. Well, my name is Dita. I am a first-generation American. Both my parents are of Albanian descent. My mom is from Kosovo and my dad is from Montenegro. I was born and raised in New York City. Unlike Dajana, I am a college dropout. But when I was in college, I was studying communications and media to become a music journalist because I am a hip hop enthusiast. And I love the idea of having really deep conversations and asking questions. And I wanted to be the vessel between like an artist and their fan base, because I think that it's such a beautiful way for fans to connect to their artists outside of their music. And I love that. I love the whole idea of like connecting with people. So I dropped out of college because I knew there was something greater for me. And in this day and age, I don't think you necessarily need to have a degree in order to start your own media platform, which was like, we are privileged, in this era to be able to kind of like be our own bosses and do things creatively on our own. So that's where I kind of like wanted to embark on this journey on having a podcast, because I love podcasts myself. So
as you guys can tell from our stories, we do come from kind of different backgrounds. Like, I was born in a different country. I have like the experience of an immigrant child in the United States compared to Dita, who was born in New York and like lived here her whole life. But as we go through these episodes, you'll notice that a lot of our experiences are extremely similar. Like, a lot of the things that we go through, a lot of the ways that our families deal with things, or the way like our thought process goes into things, it's very similar. And that's because of this background that we grew up in, the culture and the values that we all hold. Even though our experience might be different, the culture and the values make these experiences so similar.
I think Dajana and I are very proud to be Albanian, but we acknowledge that being an Albanian woman in America, whether you're an immigrant or a first generation American, comes with a lot of hardships and a lot of roadblocks. And me and Dajana, being very passionate and outspoken women, kind of connected on this idea of starting a platform to give other Albanian women a voice. Like, this podcast is not about me and Dajana. Me and Dajana are the vessel of Albanian women and their stories. So that's really the gist of like this podcast. We want to entertain, we want to inform. We plan to have several guests on the podcast. And if you're listening to this or watching this right now and you feel like you have a story to tell, please feel free to reach out to us because we want to hear from everybody. Like I said, this is not for us. This is for our Albanian community.
Throughout our life and throughout the many experiences that we've had, we've been involved in similar sort of projects where we've always talked about women or being Albanian, but being able to combine those in a platform like this that's very non-existent in our community.
Yeah, we are the first ones to have an Albanian sort of podcast.
Yeah, we did a lot of exploring and a lot of research when it came to how we wanted to kind of spread these messages that we're going to be talking about. And we found out that podcast is a platform that we haven't really tapped into or taken advantage of. So we thought, what better way to be able to connect to our community? There's not a single podcast that I sit and I listen and I'm like, wow, I just feel like you said everything I've been feeling for like my whole life.
Yeah.
And that's what we hope for this platform to be. Like, we want to be able to be a voice that you can relate to and you can connect with and be able to feel like you're heard and you're not alone in the experiences that you've had.
Yeah. And I think it's due to a lack of role models within our community.
100%.
Personally, for me, I mean, we do have music artists, but I don't think we have a platform on this sort of level where we can talk about taboo topics and have open conversations, and just make people feel safe and connected and less alone. I think for me, that's the biggest goal, because I listen to podcasts to feel less alone and to feel connected. So I think this is a beautiful medium to have, and I'm very excited to start this journey with you and with everyone else listening and watching us.
We're super excited. We've been talking about this for a while, and when we first met, we actually connected because of a post that Dita made on Facebook where she was looking for a co-host.
I made a post on Facebook, and I never thought I'd say that, but I made a post on Facebook because I just didn't have an immediate Albanian community. So I made a post on Facebook and connected with Dajana that way.
Yeah, and like a lot of people tagged me in the post because they're like, you would be a great person to talk about all of these things that Dita had highlighted on her post. So we're very outspoken. We're very not scared to be ourselves. And that's what I think will make this a very accepting sort of environment that people can either come in and talk as a guest, or they can just sit and listen and relate.
Yeah. We just want to prepare you for all the juicy episodes that are to come. We have a lot of things to talk about that I feel like our community is in dire need to just like make it less taboo.
We should be breaking everything down and not feeling so
alone,
scared of not being perfect.
Yeah. So with that being said, thank you so much for tuning into this first episode. I know it's not the most exciting episode because we kind of just got like the nitty gritty of it. I think I want to finish off by reading our mission statement, because it kind of just is the meat of everything that we just said.
Absolutely. And we just wanted to get this first episode out there to kind of get you guys to get a little bit of insight on who the people that you'll be listening to are. As I mentioned, like throughout the episodes, you'll find out so many more things about us, but we just wanted to sit down and kind of welcome you to this new journey that we're taking. And we hope that you'll join us throughout the whole thing and become a sort of part of this little family that we're creating here.
Okay. So I'm reading our mission statement. Vajza Gra is established to educate, entertain, and create a safe and inclusive platform to unify and empower Albanian women. It is intended to be used as a platform and gateway to other philanthropic endeavors such as charity work, awareness, and social events.
Awesome. You guys can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Për të gjithë ju që doni të na ndiqni me titra shqip. And we hope you guys will also follow us on social media, Vajza Gra, where you guys can stay connected, be a part of the different conversations that we're going to be having, have your input in on any topics that you want to hear us talk about, or if you want to become a guest and you want to DM us and ask to be a part of this, because we're more than welcome to having anybody come and talk about a topic that they're very passionate about. So feel free to follow us on everything, listen, and stay connected.
Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Ciao.